Okay, time to resume our class. Now, I need 6 team leaders. Who would like to be team leaders? Who would like to be a team leader? 6, 1. How many students selected this course? 40-ish. "40-ish" means almost 40. I suggest you treat this course like a language course, like an English class. You're here for English, not for professional knowledge. 39 students. 39 is divided by 6 equals 39 is divided by 6 equals so in each group 6 students, 6 or 7 students can be included, right? Good. Then, how many 6s? Oh. Yes or no? Good. I'm a math problem solver. I'm a good math problem solver. So we will have 6 team leaders. 3 of them choose 6 teammates, and 3 of them choose 5 teammates. Will be someone drop this class in the end? Is there a possibility for someone to quit or drop this class? Possible? Is it possible? Maybe. Then it's okay. 6 or 7 team members. Okay. Who would like to be the team leader and will come to me, okay, after class, or later I will send a message in the WeChat group. And the team leader, of course, enjoys some rights to allocate the workload. Yes, okay. the dispute settlement system. The dispute settlement system. Dispute settlement mechanism or system. Either is okay. Mechanism. You know that word? Dispute settlement mechanism. 争端解决机制 of the WTO is unique. Why is this DSM of WTO unique? It is different from that of the ICJ, which is also a public law dispute settlement method. Do you have any memory of ICJ? What does it refer to? What's the full name of ICJ? The full name, not Chinese translation. It's called the International Court of Justice. What's it about? Is it an organ of the United Nations? Yes. It is a judicial organ of United Nations, right? Judicial organ of United Nations 是联合国的司法机关。What kind of disputes does ICJ resolve? What kind of legal disputes? I'll give you an example. For example, border issues between two sovereign states. Okay? Border issues. What else? You've learned public international law. What kind of disputes can ICJ resolve? Besides border issues, what else? Issues of war. Yes or no? For example, the recent war between Israel and Hamas, right? And there is an order on provisional measures indicated. Order. Yes, the conflict of arms. In Chinese, it's called 武装冲突. Conflicts of arms. Border issues. What are the features of these kind of issues? They all belong to public international law. Yes or no? Yes. And they all belong to advanced politics. Advanced politics. 高阶政治. While the WTO also deals with disputes between sovereign states, but only relating to what kind of issues? What kind of issues? Trade issues, right? Trade issues. Which one is higher? For example, the disputes relating to wars, right? Or border. These issues are more serious than trade issues, yes or no? Yes. And it is an issue of economic law, trade, right? That's why we call it international economic law. Okay? Then, why would we say the DSM of WTO is unique? It is different from that of ICJ. It is also different from what? In the investment class taught by Professor Miao. What's that? What kind of disputes are they? Investment disputes, right? Trade disputes, investment disputes. 3 kind of disputes. Then what's the difference between trade disputes and investment disputes? In investment disputes, there is a mechanism, it's called what's the name of the dispute settlement mechanism in investment law? It's called what? ISDS. What's the full name of this? Investment law. What did you learn in international investment law? You don't even know this? Exactly. Very good. Investor-state dispute settlement. Who is the claimant? The investor, right? Who is the respondent? A hosting state. Good. This kind of dispute. But these first two, we call them public law disputes. Public law. And what about this one? Is ISDS a mechanism for public disputes? Yes or no? No. Although there is a hosting state involved, we cannot say it is a dispute settlement mechanism of public nature. It's a private nature. similar to what kind of issues? And in this semester, you will also have a course named International Commercial Arbitration. Yes, taught by Li Juan. Have you had the class yet? Yes, right, good. Good, then that is a dispute settlement mechanism of what kind of nature? Public or private one? I mean, what kind of disputes will be resolved by international commercial arbitration? Give me an example, you can. Is it between two sovereign states? Yes or no? No, of course not. They are between two private parties. Yes? Good. So that's why we call it a dispute settlement mechanism of private nature. ICA, International Commercial Arbitration. Now, about the dispute settlement, the picture is full. The landscape is full. Yes? Public dispute settlement, private dispute settlement. Actually, ISDS is a special type of ICA. We can use a symbol of math. It's called yes or no? What's this for? Who includes whom? Which one includes which one? ICA includes ISDS. But remember, for private disputes, we have not only ICA, we've got other forums to solve disputes of private nature. Where would we solve? I'll give you an example. Right now, there is a dispute between me, a businessman in China, and there is another businessman in Zimbabwe, for example, Chen Yuheng. Two private parties, two companies dealing with international trade, right? Regarding some issues of contract. For example, there is an issue regarding the transportation of a container. Container, you know container? 集装箱, okay? There is a dispute between us, two private companies. There is a legal dispute between us. How should we deal with or resolve the disputes between us? Can we resort to ICA? Yes or no? Can we go to the WTO DSM? Huh? Can we go to the ICJ? No. Can we go to the DSM of WTO? Hands up who said yes. Hands up who said no. The dispute between us can be resorted to WTO, Again, hands up who said no. Very good. Please hand down. Please hands down. Why? Look. Who is the respondent? China. Who is the complainant? Some other countries. Between sovereign states, and that's why we call them public disputes, right? But between private parties, disputes between private parties can only be resorted to this one. ISDS is okay. ICA is okay. Yes? And what else for private disputes? What else? According to your knowledge system or knowledge architecture. Knowledge architecture, knowledge system. What else? I bet you must have learned the course of civil procedure law. Yes? Civil procedure law taught by Dr. Zhou Haoren. Civil procedure law. And there is a rather important chapter. It's called foreign related procedures.涉外争端，涉外程序。When you were having this course entitled Civil Procedure Law, I specifically turned to Dr. Zhou Haoren. I said to him, I told him, the major of international economic trade and rules has some priorities. They need to know more or learn more, some knowledge about foreign related aspects or foreign related matters. You know what he told me in response? He said to me, no, I will never particularize the foreign related procedure. No, I will not do that. I asked him, why not? He told me that because the content of domestic civil procedure is basically similar to that of foreign related procedure. Only with several exceptions. So, next time when you are reading the text of Civil Procedure Law of PRC, you may pay more attention to the foreign related chapter, okay? To see what are the exceptions. What are the exceptions? Okay. Then, what is this kind of forum?论坛, 平台. This kind of forum, we can call it what? For example, I'm the respondent in the dispute between us. Can Chen Yiheng come to China and go to a domestic court of China, for example, the intermediate court of Wenzhou? Yes or no? Yeah, yes. And then the dispute can be resolved by a local court of China. And we call it foreign-related dispute settlement. So we call it, give it a name. Domestic litigation. But it's foreign-related domestic litigation, right? Good. Now, it's full. The picture is completely full. When you are learning ICA, you need always pay more attention to the relationship between ICA and domestic litigation. Why would we choose ICA instead of domestic litigation? Why? What are the features of ICA? What are the advantages of ICA? And what are the advantages of local litigation? Keep that question in mind when you are having ICA course later in this semester, okay? Okay. And what's the relationship between ICA and the domestic courts? And what's the difference between ISDS and ICA? Because they're all private dispute settlement methods. Again, I'll pose an easy question for you. Is the DSM of WTO a dispute settlement mechanism of public nature or private nature?
Public.
Very good. So can the dispute between the private parties of China and Zimbabwe go to the WTO directly? Yes or no? No. Because it's a public dispute settlement. There are only sovereign states involved in all these disputes. Okay. Now let's talk more about these cases. Actually, in this case, the US is the respondent and China is the complainant. And it's about dumping and countervailing duties, okay? And from this one on to this case, China intellectual property rights, China is all the respondent, yes. I can't quite remember the complainants, but the point is China is the respondent. Good. These are the 6 cases. Well, it's categorized by the different themes or subjects. The first chapter is about disputes over trade in goods. The second chapter is trade in services. The third chapter is about trade-related intellectual property rights. Do you still remember the annexes to the WTO agreement? WTO agreement. How many annexes are there? Annexes. Annex. How many annexes? You still remember? 1A is for what? Trading goods, right? 1B, trading services, gets, right? 1C, TRIPS, trade-related intellectual property rights, right? Good. What's the second annex? A very, very common mistake. In the exam, in the final exam, there are students who mistake DSU as USD. That's dollars. The correct way is DSU. And the full name of DSU is Annex 2. DSU is Dispute Settlement Understanding. 争端解决备忘或谅解 Understanding. This is Annex 2. And actually, this course, the case study of WTO law, the basis is this instrument, dispute settlement understanding. We resolve disputes, trade disputes, based on DSU. This important annex is a procedural annex. It contains procedural rules. How to resolve the disputes? It's the basis. Well, these are the substantive rules. 1A, 1B, 1C. And what about Annex 3? It's called TPRM, right? TPRM. And what's the 4? Plurilateral agreements. In Chinese, it's called what? 诸边贸易协定, 复边贸易协定. It's not all these, look, all these agreements, including it, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, they are all multilateral agreements. Multilateral means everybody is included. But plurilateral means, yes, the plurilateral agreements are only binding upon those members to it, to them. Which means only several of the members joined the plurilateral agreements, okay? Not all, not everybody. But these agreements are all multilateral agreements. Good. So basically, we will center this course on these four agreements. 1A, 1B, 1C, and DSU are closely related to this course, the case study of WTO law. Okay, let's move on to this part. How are disputes settled in WTO? When is the time due? 4 minutes left? Okay, good. 4 minutes. How are disputes settled in WTO? Actually, all the contents in the PPT come from the teaching materials I sent you. Okay. Only with some words marked red for stress or emphasis. Just now I mentioned this dispute settlement mechanism is a unique contribution, unique and different from that of the ICJ, ISDS, domestic litigation, blah, blah. Okay. For example, China and the United States have a trade dispute because in China's opinion, the United States violated some of the provisions in 1A, 1B, or 1C. And then China is unsatisfied. It keeps complaining. Can China adopt some measures against the United States directly or unilaterally? Look here. Unilaterally. Look here. Plurilateral, multilateral. Here there is an unilateral. You can always remember these words together, right? Unilateral means to take actions alone. 单边的. Can China do that? No. It's illegal. The correct way is to go to the WTO and wait for the findings and conclusions of the judges. After that, you can enforce the rulings and the recommendations issued by the panel report, by the panels or the appellate body. You can enforce the judgments. You can never take actions unilaterally. Okay, I think that would be everything I'd like to talk about for today. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye bye for now.